Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we are covering Mobile App Advanced. This webinar will cover how to use the work queue, creating new appointments from the field, using checklists, proposals and invoices, financing, maintenance plans, proposal comparisons, purchase orders, sending out review requests, and our live Q&A at the end, where you can get your questions answered live on stream. Now, today is an advanced webinar, so I will assume that you know the basics. If not, that's okay. You can always go to our basics session for the mobile app, or you can watch the replay because we do record all of our sessions. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into the WEX FSM mobile app. So the first thing we'll talk about today is using the work queue. So when you're in the mobile app and appointments are assigned to you, you see them under My Appointments. That typical scenario is someone in the office is creating the appointments for you, and then you are going out and working those jobs. But the work queue allows you to put in draft appointments that are not ready yet to be put on the schedule. And if you look all the way at the bottom, it says work queue. We're going to tap on that. And the work queue will have two different types of appointments. There's service requests and unassigned appointments. Service requests means that there's a lot of information missing. I'm not really sure the date, the time, which technician is going to go out. Service requests are usually things that I just want a reminder for. I can put in notes. I can document that this is a job that needs to happen. I just don't have all the information yet to have that go out. An unassigned appointment means that I know the date and the time and the details. I'm just not sure which technician is going to run this out in the field yet. And for both of these, for service requests and for unassigned appointments, if you're a technician in the field, you can come in here and assign this to yourself. If you have the permissions, you can assign this to other technicians in the field as well. Maybe you're a service manager and you're the one who's kind of helping decide who runs jobs from the work queue. Whatever the scenario is, you will simply select a job. Let's use Annie Dillard. And let's say that I got done with a job early. I'm going to check the work queue, see any pending jobs that I might be close to. Looks like, this one at Wayfair Meadows I'm next to. And so I would like to assign this to myself so I can get it on my schedule and go work the job. Tap into the appointment. The details from when it was created will be in here. You can update those if needed. But let's go down to primary tech and let's assign this to myself. So I'm just going to type my name. And now, date, start time. I just clicked on that or tapped on that. Today's the 25th. And let's say that we'll go out there at 11 and done. So this is a no AC call. I'm going at 11. I assign myself. I can add any notes here if I want to. And now I will hit save in the top right. And for some reason that didn't work. Hold on. Failed to create appointment. Am I missing something? That should all be good. Now, this is a test account, and sometimes they're doing stuff in here, but let's go back and refresh. All right, let's try that again. Work queue, Annie Dillard. I would like to do this today at 11. There we go. Assign this to myself and save. Okay, I do not know why this is not working. Failed to create appointment. Please try again. Does it not like me? I apologize for this. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Failed to create appointment. Interesting. All right, well, this has never happened before. Um, Today's the 25th. We wanted 11. Let's go back. Let's try another date and time. 11 a.m. Okay. And let's just see if it does it with Dustin. Okay, so that worked. Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure why that is not doing it for Annie. So let's try one more. In this scenario, I am wanting to assign this to myself. So I will select the appointment, select the date and time, and then assign this to whoever I want this to go to, which in this case would be myself. And then tap save in the top right. Okay, so there must be something funky about that appointment, but that's what we were trying to achieve. Use the work queue. You can assign this to yourself, to others, and it will go from the work queue to the dispatch board. All right. Next, we are going to create our own appointments from scratch. So while, yes, you can you can do all of your scheduling from the office, if you want to schedule from the field, from the mobile app, you will tap Add Appointment right here on the right side. Choose between Add Appointment and Other Event. Add Appointment is going to be for your customers, and Other Event will be for internal events that are not customer related, kind of like making a sales meeting, on Monday. If you wanted to put that on everyone's schedule, you could do that with Other Event. But we're going to do Add Appointment. And now we just need to search for our customer. Let's look for Justin. And then from here, we first will decide, is this something we're going to schedule right now to get on the dispatch board? Or is this a service request? So we talked about the work queue. Let's look at create service request for a second. So if this is something that, let's say I am communicating with the customer, I know I'm going to go out there sometime next month, but I'm not exactly sure the date, the time, or even who's going to go out there. you can create service request, put in the job name of what that job is going to be, and then put in notes. You'll just tap on notes here and then enter the notes. Hit save when you're done and then hit save. And that will create a service request and put that in the work queue. And then just like we did earlier, you can assign that out as needed. But for today's example, we're going to schedule now. So just running down the line here, new, well, first is the address. So select the address that you want whoever's going to run this appointment to go to, and this will be the address that's pulled to get GPS directions out to the job when it's time. This part's very important where it says job new. This is saying, do you want to create a new job folder and put this appointment in it? Or does this relate to a previous job? Is this a callback appointment that you need to do a follow-up? In that case, you want to make sure you are selecting the appropriate job folder that this relates to. So if I'm going back for a follow-up, let's say that that was for job 14174, I would want to select that. And then when I schedule the appointment, that appointment will be saved in the correct job folder. That way we keep our jobs nice and organized. For today's example, this is a new issue. Maybe this customer I've worked with many times before, but for this particular issue, it's new. It's our first time we're going to go look at it. So we're going to choose new job folder. Next is the lead source. If you click into here, this is just asking, where did this job come from? Where did this lead come from? As long as you have your lead sources set up, maybe you did an email marketing campaign and that they said, hey, I saw your email and now I'm here. So you can just tag where they came from. Select the start date and time. So let's say we're going to go out there today at 9 a.m. Hit done. We want this to be 1 hour. The primary technician, let's say I will go out and run it. So I already have myself set for primary tech, but if I want helpers, if I want additional technicians, tap the plus button here and an additional tech field will show up. And then you just tap it for selecting who you want to come out. Let's say that Alex is coming out to this job to assist. If you want to remove an additional technician, you tap the trash can icon. Any technicians that are added to here, when I hit save, it will automatically put that appointment in their appointment list for that day. So they'll see that on their device. Any notes that you have, write those in here and hit save. And then when we're ready, we know the date, we know the time, we know the tech, we're good to go. So I will tap save. And now we can see that has been added to my schedule. Okay. And so that is creating new appointments from the field. Next, let's dive into an appointment and start looking at the different tools and options that you can do while running the job. From the job page, we are going to just tap into our appointment with Justin Hernandez here. And if you scroll down on these job pages, you'll see there's a lot of different options below that are tools that will help you out in the field for this job. First one we're going to look at is checklists. So tap on checklists. And so I guess as a disclaimer, you do need to set up your checklists from the desktop version first in order for your templates to be set. But once that is set, you will tap New in the top right, and all of your checklist templates will then show up here. So, if you're working with the office, I would say make sure you're communicating about the checklist if you're using them. If you notice there's items that are missing from a checklist, you might want to let them know, hey, can we add this? But as long as you have your templates set, it makes it very easy just to click new. What type of job am I doing? Let's say this is a HVAC maintenance call. I would just select my HVAC maintenance checklist and hit create. That will use that template to create a new checklist for this job. And then from here, you would just fill out the checklist as needed. If there's anything that doesn't relate to the work you're doing today, you can always just skip checklist items. And then you can add your own comments. Just realize it is attaching these comments publicly to this checklist. So if for any reason you sent the checklist to your customer, they would see the notes that you have added here. You even have an area to grab a customer signature and hit complete. And then at the bottom, you can select who the checklist was completed by. Once you have all the info, tap save in the top right. And now here it is. We can see our checklist is here. Now there are some checklist settings that you can set from the desktop side on the admin page for checklist that will allow you to automatically add checklists by job type. So an example here would be this is a maintenance job. I click into the checklist. This maintenance checklist would have already been here. I wouldn't have even need to add it if I set the checklist to attach to any maintenance jobs automatically. If that's something that you're interested in, then chat with whoever is the admin for setting up your checklists. Let's take a step back. We'll tap the arrow in the top left here. Next, let's take a look at proposals and invoices. So if you notice down below here, we've got a proposals tab, and we're just going to tap on that. And for proposals, you have some options. In the top right, we're going to tap new, and you can create a new proposal from scratch, or you can copy from existing. Copy from existing, just to show you, if we tap that, it's going to first pull up all of your favorites. So just a pro tip when you're making proposals, if you're building out a proposal and you think to yourself, this is an item that I'm definitely going to sell again in the future, then you can favorite that proposal. And then in the future, when you're ready to use that information again, you'll tap copy, and then all your favorites will show up here. So any proposals that you think you're going to want to reference and copy in the future, favorite them, and that makes it easier. Otherwise, you can just uncheck favorites by tapping the red favorites button. And now I'm able to see every proposal I've ever made in my whole system. And each of those are copyable, and you can copy that over. Once you find the proposal you want to copy, you'll tap on it, and it will simply pull all the information from the previous document, make a new document with that previous information, and then it's unique for that customer. So any edits that you make to the copied job form will not affect the one you copied it from. All right. And so that's copy from existing. For today's example, we are going to do a new proposal. So let's tap new and new proposal. And just working our way down from the top, where it says the customer name, you can actually tap on that customer name, and that brings up the proposal details. This is where you can add a proposal name, which comes in very handy if you want to copy this in the future. You can name this. Let's say this is a proposal for a certain type of equipment, furnace install. If I want to favorite it, this is where you favorite it. Mark as favorite. Let's say this is a furnace install proposal. You can update which technician is assigned to this proposal. And that's good if you're tracking, like if every proposal you make, you are tagging yourself on it or, assigning yourself, then in reporting, I could look at all of the proposals I've created over the last 3 months and, pull data based on the technician and the proposal. And then we have a custom field here if there, for any reason you need to add a work order number or maybe your license number is required on proposals for a certain amount in your state. Whatever it is, the custom field, you can write whatever you want and it'll show up on the job form. And then if we scroll down, this is where you can set your pricing strategies. So in your system, you have the standard price, which is going to be default for everything. But then you also have a maintenance plan price that will be for your maintenance plan customers. And you can also set different discounts. So we have a friends and family discount and a military discount. And then you can also set upcharges. So I have an after hours pricing strategy as well. When I'm on the job, I'll determine, what am I doing and which of my pricing strategies do I want to charge, and then select that from here and hit OK. And there you go. So show maintenance plan pricing will show the little red section that says the savings. It shows the customer the savings they're getting for the maintenance plan discount. If you don't want that to show, you can toggle that off here. And then line item amounts and quantities. Let's say you're building the proposal before you show it to the customer. You don't want them to see the individual line item amounts. You just want to see, you want your customer to see just the total. You can just toggle that off here. So if this is on, it'll say, item one, $100, item two, $100, item three, $100, total 300. If you turn this off, it'll just say item one, item two, item three, no individual prices, and then 300 at the bottom. So just some visual options that you can set here. Once you're done with the proposal details, you'll tap Save in the top right. Featured image will allow you to add an image that will attach to the proposal, and then that image will show when you are presenting. And if you use this proposal in a proposal comparison, that's the image it'll show. And now we need to add items to our product, or sorry, to our proposal. So we're going to tap Add Items. And then we've got a couple different options here. So you can search through your folders, which you've I'm sure done this a lot of times, but some tips here. You can select items and they will be added in the order that you select them. So let's go to my parts folder and I want my general part here. You can go to different folders, and as you're selecting things, it's putting them in a queue down below here. And so let's go to service. Let's put our furnace install labor. Let's go up to search. You can also just search for what you're looking for. And let's say that this is a furnace install. And, select the item that you want. If you tap this little arrow, it is kind of hard to see, but above the add button, there's a little arrow. If you tap that, it'll show you what's in your cart, and this is what you're wanting to add to your proposal. So, this is looking good. Let's say for labor, this is going to take us 3 hours. So you can update the quantity by hitting the plus button. You can take away quantity by hitting the minus button. And then if you hit the trash can icon, that will delete the item from the list here. This looks good, so we will hit add. Once the items have been added to your job form, you can tap and hold and move these into any order that you want. If you tap on the item, it will open the item details. And so from here, I can actually, maybe I don't want my customer to know all this information. And so I can update it. You can update the price, determine if you want to charge tax or not, enter in a description, and then hit save. And for some reason, it did not save. Cool. We entered the info, hit save. There we go. Okay. And so now, if you want to add, so that was adding items straight up from your price book. If we hit add items, if we want to add a recommended item, something that we are going to recommend to our customers, but not put it in the product section yet. We don't want to officially charge them until they approve the item. Let's say that is a filter. I'll just look for the item that I want to add as a recommended item first. Let's say this Honeywell filter here. And then instead of hitting the plus button, you'll just tap on the item. And in the very bottom left, it will say recommend. So all of your items, you'll just add normally, but recommended items, you'll select recommend. We want it for this proposal, so we can recommend it to them today, and then hit add. That's the only recommended item that I want to add, so I'm just going to hit add again to add it to the proposal. And if you notice, it did not go in the product section. It went in the recommended items section. And then, recommended items, that's a really great way to get the amount per job higher. And when you present this to your customer, they'll see, like, this is what we're charging you for today. And these are the items that I recommend. And then if they say, oh, you know what, 16 bucks, let's go ahead and add that on too. You'll tap the plus sign, and now it's been added to the product section. If you want to update the and also like just as a tip, if you add an item to here and you want to quickly put it in the recommended items section, you will use your finger to slide your finger to the right, which will reveal the recommended items button, and you just tap on that. And now that went back down to recommended. If you want to update the taxes, you can tap on tax here, change the tax group. And then if you want to offer financing, right here, it says offer financing. You will tap that button. Now, as a disclaimer, financing does need to be set up in your system in order for this to show up here. That is done from the desktop version of WEX FSM. You would apply for financing. The financing company will enter loans into your system. You'll select which loans you want to offer your customers. And then those are what will show up when you tap plan. And then these will be all the loans that you have in your system available for customers. Select the loan you want to use and hit OK. And then when you're ready, tap save. That will add the loan as a recommended item. It's going to not be official until you click apply now. And you can do this with your customer. Let's say you have your device, you turn it around and you allow them to use your device to fill out the loan application. Or you can send this to the customer and they can fill out the application on their own. But once you fill out the info here and submit your application, it will then let you know. It'll be an instant approval. Are they approved or declined? If they're approved, then you will be able to continue forward with the job and you'll be able to track that loan from your financing dashboard on the payments page, which we'll look at in just a little bit. We're not going to submit a real application to Synchrony today for this customer, but that is what you would do. You'd hit submit application. That would send it to the, oh, are you sure? Yes, yes. That'll send it to the lender. It'll let you know if it's approved or declined. And if it's approved, then you move forward with the job. You'll track that from the financing dashboard, and then you'll be able to accept payment, and that payment will be sent to your bank account, the lump sum of the loan minus the dealer fee. Okay, so that is adding financing. To add a maintenance plan, you will tap offer maintenance plan. And same thing, if you already have your maintenance plan templates set up, that's what you'll see here. Let's say we want to sign them up for the Comfort Club plan and tap OK. That will come as a recommended item. So we will tap sign up. And now we're just filling out the info. As long as your template is set up with details, you probably don't even need to change any of this. The description is good. This is who we're signing them up for. This is their plan start date and end date. It's $100 a year. If you need to or want to update the price, you can, and it will update for this customer, but not change your normal maintenance plan pricing. If you want to track who is selling the maintenance plan, you can assign a sales agent. And then once you're good to go, you can grab a signature from the customer if they're there with you, just saying, I agree to enter into this maintenance plan contract with you. and then hit next. And what are we missing? That's good. That's good. Oh, if you check that the customer has agreed, and you put a signature, you do need to put in their name as well. And then tap next. This is just saying these are your service windows. So for the Comfort Club plan we're signing them up for, we're going to go out there in the spring to do an AC cleaning and in the fall to do a heat cleaning. And this is just saying that these are the service windows that we're going to officially schedule the appointment when the time comes. Select which of these service windows will be the first visit. So, we're in February, January to June would most likely be our first visit. So we select that and then we'll hit next. When you go to schedule this, this is the contact info it will provide. So you just want to confirm that this is the correct point of contact for scheduling. And then payment. So for payment, you can put it on this proposal. Then when we convert it to an invoice, the customer would pay for this maintenance plan from that invoice. If you wanted to set them up on a payment plan, you can tap payment plan. And all this is saying is that we're going to collect your payment information, and then this is going to auto charge at the frequency we set until you cancel. So let's say they're going to pay $150 a year for this maintenance plan. We'll grab their card information, enter that in, and then hit done. And that will put them on a payment plan where it will charge $150 every year to the payment method provided until they cancel. Today's example, we're going to put it on the proposal. So on proposal and done. And if you notice, the Comfort Club plan has now been added as a product. And then it also will assign the maintenance plan to the customer. So we'll be able to see Justin is a maintenance plan customer after this. All right. Then we have proposal notes. Any notes that you add here are customer facing. They will see these notes. And we are good to go. So we are going to hit present proposal. That will put this in presentation mode, which this looks great. You can turn your device around and just show your customer this here. Scroll down and you can also view PDF. Some of my customers like to show the PDF version versus like the mobile app version, just because it includes your company logo if you have that set up. And it looks a little more traditional of like what an invoice would look like. And so that's up to you. If you want to use the mobile app, we have a presentation mode, which is nice and clean, or you can open the PDF and show your customer that way. Either way, you will have the option to send the proposal to your customer, or you can convert it to an invoice. And so let's say the customer says, you know what, this is great. Let's go ahead and do this, and we're gonna pay for this, now. You can hit convert to invoice. And then it will take all the information from the proposal and now turn it into an invoice. You'll still have the proposal. You'll be able to look at that proposal and reference it. But now this invoice, you will be able to take payment from. On on the invoice, it's exactly the same process as building the proposal. So everything in terms of adding items, updating the details, changing the taxes, and even offer maintenance plan, recommended items, exactly the same on the invoice. The only difference is the invoice I'm able to take payment on. So when you're on an invoice, you add your items, you get everything set up and ready, and hit present invoice. And then from here, you are able to process a payment, which will process through WEX FSM and send the money to your bank account. Record payment is if you are not processing through WEX FSM and that money's got to make it to the bank account some other way outside of WEX FSM. But you want to document you took that payment. So an example here, if someone's paying with cash, you would hit record payment, enter in the info, hit next. Let's say this is, we're going to take a cash payment and hit record payment. And then you take that cash to the bank. So if we look here, we're back on proposals. This is the proposal that we created. And if I slide my finger to the right, I'm able to send, view PDF, or convert to invoice right from the proposals page. If I slide my finger to the left, I can quickly delete documents from this proposals page. Let's take a step back here. And now we've got, we do have a couple more sections. We're going to go over proposal comparisons, purchase orders, and review requests before we dive into our Q&A. But these should be pretty quick. So proposal comparisons is actually very simple. Proposal comparison tool, all it does is pulls any pre-existing proposals you have in your system together so your customer can see the options back to back. So to create a proposal comparison, we're going to tap proposal comparisons and new. You can copy entire comparisons. So if you did a, AC unit comparison yesterday for a customer, you would just copy that and all the information would be there and save you a ton of time from building it. But we're going to select proposals to compare to make a new comparison. This is where the favorites comes in handy. If you're making a proposal and you know, hey, I'm going to use this in a comparison later, favorite it, name it. That way, when you're looking at these, you can tell which ones you want to use. And let's say that I already built out a good, a better, and a best proposal. Here they are. So I'm going to add my good proposal, my better proposal, my best proposal. You can select up to 9 here and hit create. That's going to take all the information from each individual proposal and pull that in. From here, you can change what each option says. Maybe you want to literally put good, better, best. You just tap on the text and update what it says. You can also change the color by tapping here and hit save. So that's our good. Let's say we want a better option. And then a best option. And now when we hit present proposal comparison, it takes the picture, the product, the description, everything from the proposals and puts them here. And you are able to, you can swipe, but you can also just tap good, better, best at the top here. It makes it very easy when you're talking like, the better version is this and the best version is this, and you can kind of go back and forth between these very quickly. When you're done, you can hit save. And then, you can just send that to the customer and they'll be able to see the comparison that way. Once they select which proposal they want, it will be marked as signed. You'll get a message saying that it was signed. And then when you look in the job, you'll be able to see which of the proposals was signed. All right. For purchase orders, if we go here and select purchase orders, scenario, I'm on the job. I realize I don't have the part I need. I need to order a part. I will tap new job PO, select my supplier, choose between pickup and delivery. Let's say I'm near the supplier. I'll go pick it up and hit create. Select the items by tapping add items. Look through your parts catalog, your supplier catalog, and add the items that you want to order and hit add. And then this will create a official purchase order document. It already has all the info that it needs. If you want to write notes that your supplier will see, you can put those notes here. And some require a signature, so you can just tap and sign it here. And then you hit send purchase order. Determine who is going to receive this, and then hit send. That sends a PO out to the supplier and they will fulfill the order. And then for this scenario, you go pick it up. And the very last thing that we will look at is review requests. So that is here. Oh, it should be here. Maybe that is turned off for this account. Give me a second. So, wait a minute. Why is this not there? Hold, give me, give me a second. Let's go to this job. Oh, let's go to this one. Here's the review request. All right. So we know it's on. Okay. They must have moved it on me. I don't know why this button's not here. There is usually a review request button that's right here, but I don't know why it's not there. Okay. Let me check one more thing. Let's go to mobile app. We want mobile app advanced. And hold on. And we want review requests. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so this test account for some reason does not have the review request button, but when I just went to the article for advanced mobile app and it'll say review request. You'll hit new, select who you want to send the request to, and then hit save. And that will send a review request out. Maybe somebody turned off the permission for me to do that. If you run into this scenario where you don't have access to something that you know you need, it may just be that the permission was turned off and it needs to be turned back on. This test account gets a little wonky sometimes because there are like 50 people who are in here doing stuff. So sometimes I do run into things being a little weird. But that is all the information that we have for today's presentation. I hope this was helpful for you. And we're going to jump into our Q&A now. So before we do that, I just want to say thanks so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Mobile App Advanced.